Okay, this is a video on practicing the major scale and improvising on it. Now let's take just one hand alone for this. Okay, you got the major scale. Up and down isn't very much of a piece of music. If you have a beat to it, or an eighth notes, it begins to come to life. But what we want to do is to change it, go in different directions, find some patterns. For example, now that's like a little sentence in music. Remember that music is made up of sentences and phrases. I'd like to go to the beach today is a sentence. Well, that's the spoken language. And when you speak that way in any language, the spoken language, you're speaking with concretes, beach, and nouns, and places to go and how to do things. It expresses certain things that you can take action on, or places you can go or do, that sort of thing. Nouns, verbs, adjectives. The music language is not spoken that way. The music language is spoken with abstracts. And abstracts are feelings, characters, moods, sounds, especially sounds, patterns, this sort of thing. Something that means something that you can enjoy, that says something to you. So when you have a pattern, well, that's sort of nice. Or you can make up so many different patterns here, and it's enjoyable to do, but it's part of your training as a musician, in your training in improvisation. You're improvising, and all of a sudden you're learning something about how music speaks, both to you and to an audience. So work on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. And so on. Keep the beat going, go to different scales, improvise at will, ad libitum, at your liberty, making patterns, making whatever you feel like doing in that particular scale. If you want to put your hands together, now another little thing. You don't have to stop on the note that you began with. Stop anywhere you like. Maybe you'll be expressing maybe a question. Now that was sort of like a question then an answer kind of phrase. Don't be afraid to stop on some of the note other than the first note. It's probably a good idea to start in the first note, because you're still on the major scale, A flat major scale. Okay, stop on the fifth note. Stop on the third note. Your choice. And remember that improvisation is choices. And exercise your power of choices in working with these major scales, because this is going to determine how well you do with pieces in the future. You know, you take things like, I don't know, Moon River, or I can't think of too many right offhand, but you know, there's just so many pieces that you probably want to play, and you'll want to improvise upon them. You don't want to play them as written. When you get a piece of music, you will get the lead sheet, and from that lead sheet you will begin to improvise. But there are different types of improvisation, and we will cover those in a later ebook. But for right now, work on improvising on the major scale with a foot beat, and a foot beat as described in the last video, and then put all these videos together and practice them. And keep this video, keep this ebook, so that you can refer to it many times. Listen to the videos more than once, and practice each video many times. You know, just practice, and then forget about the videos, forget about all the instruction I've given. Just simply sit down and play based upon this information, these videos that I've given in this ebook. Now this is the last of the videos of this ebook, because we want to go ahead and go into a different area in our next ebook. So enjoy it and let me know how you feel about it. I want to know what successes you've had. For one thing, when you practice these things and you work on what I've given you here, you will have certain areas where you'll say, oh, that's how that works. Well, that's a cognition. Write it up. Write a success story. Send it on with the comments here. Even if you don't send it as a comment, it's for you. It's for you to validate what you have been doing, and your cognitions, and your practice, and what successes you've had. It's so important, rather than just going along, you know, day after day, week after week, month after month, sometimes year after year, just, I don't know, plodding along, trying to do something but never getting very far. These videos and these lessons are geared to show you exactly what you can do. They are the possibilities, shall we say. There's nothing here that says that this is the way to do it, or that's the way to do it. It's simply giving you some things to work with, and from that you can figure out other things that you want to work with within this framework of this particular ebook. So carry on, and let's work on the next ebook. Okay, bye-bye.